Hey, good morning, peeps. It is Monday the 17th, and here is your as fast as possible Dinar update with some world news thrown in there. For Monday the 17th, everything's, in my opinion, not offering any type of professional advice. So let's dive in. Hope you guys had a great weekend. So, what's on deck in Iraq? So we know the February salaries have been paid, obviously at the old rate, and then no news yet on anything related to the March payments. So we're waiting on that. It is said that the budget tables with the new rate are supposed to be delivered to Parliament by the end of Ramadan, and Ramadan ends on the 30th, in the evening of the 30th Iraqi time. So Kurdistan region has transferred $48 billion to the Iraqi federal banks. Again, so the money. This leads me to believe that there is oil moving because they're paying 48 billion dinar to Iraq. It's possible that there's past due monies that needed to be transferred. I know that they're working out their differences in order to get the pipelines going again officially, and we all know that's tied to HCL. So money is moving, and that's the important takeaway there. Talk out of CBI and Iraq about the continuing efforts to get everyone on board with the digital banking. Still trying to get all those holdout people on their banking cards, and the whole purpose behind this, or the main purpose behind it, banking reforms, obviously is getting them from the Stone Ages to the Jetsons. But blockchain technology, AI, all this is to combat corruption so that the money is trackable. With their success in running down past corruption and things of that nature, leads me to believe that they're already on the ISO 222 banking systems, where everything is being digitized, and then the AI software can track it and track the numbers and money movements from this person to that person, and all roads lead back to Iran. So what else is in the news about Iran? So the Iraq is now independent of them for gas and electric. They are building a gas pipeline. They are receiving gas from the ports instead of from Iran. They're no longer exporting Iranian oil. So basically, Iran is screwed in a big way with a capital F. We see Trump hammering down on, I'm going to say, Houthi. I don't know how, I haven't heard that spoken out loud to know if I'm saying it right, but that's how it's spelled. So the Houthi militias are from Iran, funded by Iran, taking orders by Iran. These are the bad guys, the Shiite Islamic terrorists. But Trump's putting the hammer on them. And then, so in my opinion, I think the next thing we are going to see is strikes in Iran on their nuclear capabilities, whether that's just reactors in general or their weapons plants where they are trying to and developing nuclear weapons. Again, that's in my opinion. So that's pretty much it for the Iraqi portion of the news, and that kind of segues into world news and some of the things. Let's tie some things together. So we're going to play the what if game. So we know Trump is the master chess player and the 5D chess and all that stuff. So what are some of the things that he's doing that we need to pay attention to? And there's so many and they happen so fast that today's news is old tomorrow. So, but the latest thing that he's been warming the sheep or the normies up to is the character playing the president for the last 4 years, Autopen Joe. So, what is an Autopen? So it is a software that records the presidential signature and then stores it, and then when a document needs to be signed and the president is overseas or wherever, they place the bill or the document in a machine, and then it transcribes his or her signature. So we're hearing talk about Trump overturning and voiding any executive order signed with Autopen by the former resident. But I don't think it's going to stop there. So oddly enough, this technology, and let me find it so I quote it correctly, it was patented all the way back in 1803. So that makes me think it's Tartarian technology. But back then, obviously it wasn't a computer. It was a mechanism of arms attached to a pen, attached to another pen. So as I'm signing my name, it's signing it over here on that one as well. I believe there was some way that they were able to make a physical copy so that they could put the pen in, and let's just say, for instance, they engraved it into a block of wood. So if the president wasn't there, they could initiate the movement of the arm in a block of pen, and it would sign a signature over here on a document. So there are no recordings of amendments, bills, things of that type being signed by the Autopen way back when. So the first time that it was called to the mat to find out if it was constitutional, oddly enough, was in 2005 by George W. He was the first president to ask if it was constitutional for a president to sign a bill using Autopen. There was one instance where I think he was thinking about signing it. It was to do with some life support court battle, Supreme Court, where a husband wanted to take his wife off of life support. The parents were fighting it, and he had to intervene. I don't remember the particulars of that case, but so that was the first time that it was questioned whether it was constitutional or not. Jump forward to Barry in 2011. He was the actual first president to sign official documents using that. He was in France, something needed to be signed here in the United States, and so he signed it using Autopen. And then he went on to use it 2 more times, and that report was circa 2018. So up to that, the publishing of that report, it was told that he had used it a total of 3 times. Now, we move forward to the resident, and we all know who that is. Supposedly, Fox News has investigated that there are over 20 documents, executive orders, things like that, that the resident signed using Autopen. And that the only time that his actual signature was recorded was when he signed the document that he wasn't running against Trump in this last election. And then so his signature, it looked similar, but then he did kind of like a little squiggly thing under it or something. So it was obviously not the Autopen signature. So Trump is saying that he's going to avoid all these, that he has, I think so. If my recollection is correct, that he has voided all of the residents' pardons that he signed on the way out. So I think this is warming up to the sheep to the idea that the resident really wasn't the president. Catch what I'm saying there? And that someone else was running the country for those 4 years. And again, this is just in my opinion, YouTube. But it seems like he's warming up the sheep to this idea, which is going to open up a big can of worms. So that's going to drag 2020 to the mat, and a lot of other things. Trump runs the long game, so he's very patient. He puts things out there, lets them simmer and saute, and then he delivers the meal. So, what are some of the other things that we are going to be needing to pay attention to? So there's just on Twitter this morning, on X, there's more talk from Elon about exposing the Federal Reserve and their money printing machines, printing fake money, not asset backed in any way. There's more talk about taxes going away. I think the number is up to $170,000. If your income is under $170,000, you're not going to pay taxes anymore. All these things are introducing the ideas to the sheep and the normies and the left and everyone else, and anyone who's not plugged in, that it's possible that the IRS could go away. In my opinion, you have to say "in my opinion" with everything on YouTube now, because they're cracking down hard on us people, the plugged in people. So, possibly the IRS going away, Federal Reserve going away, all the things that we've been expecting to happen for the last 8 years at least. Now all of a sudden it's out there and Facebook and different mediums where it's getting out there and people are talking about it. So is that a prelude to Nasara? It kind of seems like it to me. So what else are we looking for? What other hammers are we looking for to drop? So we still are waiting on the Epstein files. We're still waiting on JFK to be unredacted. 2020, the resident, Autopen Joe. Here's a theory: is Trump waiting to drop all these at once so that the world is so focused on that, and then it triggers the RV, triggers Nasara, triggers Gassara, while everyone's focused on that. That's just complete spitballing on my part. I listened to a little bit of Mark this morning because Mr. C was on, and I heard that idea from him that he's wondering if Trump's holding all this stuff to drop it all at once to be a cover for the RV. I think Mr. C concurred with that. On the Mark Z stuff, still hearing that his bonds people are still looking for the 18th tomorrow to have all contracts signed and done. He has bond contacts who are currently buying up massive amounts of currency. So Mr. C thinks that we're definitely close. He still thinks that the Russia-Ukraine war needs to be put to bed. So we are seeing that also in the news that they've agreed to come to the ceasefire peace talk table, but that's still a few days away. I believe Trump is speaking with Putin this Friday. I don't know if that's in person or teleconference, but that's about it for today. That's a lot of mouthfuls and a lot of ums because I'm not a public speaker. So that's all I got for today. That's all I got for this morning. Unless something is breaking, I can't say next time we'll be on. I know I keep trying to do these every day, but I don't want to waste people's time. And if it's not breaking news that's getting us to the bank, then really, what's the point of talking about it? Because it's the same song and dance that we've been hearing for the last 10 years. While we've not been here before with the things that are going on in Iraq, Iraq is a pregnant woman that's 6 weeks past due. And for whatever reason, her body's just not saying, let's have the baby. So that's where we're at with Iraq. And I just, is it Iran holding it up? Is it the corruption in Iraq? Iraqi politicians tied to Iran? Iran seems to be the big nugget that is still caught in the wheel, keeping this thing moving forward. And I think that's why you're seeing the military step in now. They are bombing the blank out of Yemen. They are, honestly, in my opinion, I think the next step you're going to see is strikes in Iran taking out their nuclear capabilities. So is that what we're waiting on? There's indications between now and the end of Ramadan or the end of the month, same thing, that we could see, the reevaluation of Dinar, RV, Nassar, whatever camp you're in, that we could see action in this next, between now and the end of the month. And I'm not giving dates like I think it's going to be Tuesday at 2. One of these days it could be a Tuesday at 2. I don't know. But the other key thing that's happening at the beginning of April 2nd, the tariffs go into effect. The external revenue goes live. So in my conspiracy mind, that would be a perfect time for the internal revenue to go away, IRS. But again, that's just my opinion. But I think there's a lot set up for this transitional period between now and April 2nd. So I think you're going to see some fireworks. So again, I'm not going to do another one until I have something to talk about, so I don't waste people's time. As always, I appreciate your time, and I thank you for watching these videos. Not here to sell anything or sing or any of that stuff. I don't have a singing voice. So, Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. There you go. That's my one and only song. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Stay cool.